Et bonjour mes élèves, c'est Madame Brown et aujourd'hui on va parler de l'imparfait. I'm Madame Brown and today we're going to continue talking about l'imparfait, which is a French verb tense for discussing ongoing events in the past. This is the second part of 3 videos on the imperfect tense in French, and on this video we're going to focus mostly on irregular verbs. All right, just a quick review. What is l'imparfait in English? L'imparfait describes an ongoing action or state that was occurring at some point in the past without a specific time period. You can translate into English as meaning was, were, doing an action, or used to do an action. In some cases, it translates as the simple past tense in English, so it can be a little bit confusing sometimes. In French, l'imparfait is not a compound tense. That means it doesn't have two parts, like passé composé. So no helping verb is needed. You only need to conjugate the infinitive. For example, j'étudiais could mean I studied, I was studying, I used to study. Il vendait could mean he sold, he was selling, he used to sell. Nous finissions could mean we finished, we were finishing, we used to finish. Common uses for l'imparfait describe a person or situation in the past, such as quand j'étais petit, j'aimais manger les bonbons. When I was little, I liked to eat candies. It can be used to talk about a repeated action in the past, such as je faisais du vélo tous les jours. I rode my bike every day. It could also be used to describe simultaneous events occurring in the past, such as pendant que je regardais la télé, maman cuisinait. While I watched TV, mom cooked. Now remember that some of these look like simple past translations, which you might think would be passé composé. However, you try to think of them like this. I liked to eat candies. Could that be passé composé? Possibly. However, in this context, it could also mean I used to like. So when I was little, I used to like to eat candies. If you think of it that way, then you'll know, this should be l'imparfait. In the second example, I rode my bike. That could also be passé composé. However, if you think of it more as in this context, I used to ride my bike every day, or I was riding my bike every day, then you know that you need to use l'imparfait. And then these last two, I watched, mom cooked, again, sounds like passé composé. However, if you think of it more as while I was watching TV, mom was cooking, then you'll know that you need to use l'imparfait. Now, just a quick review of how to form l'imparfait. Remember, we take the present tense of the nous form with a verb like parler. We use nous parlons. Then you drop the ONS, so our stem would become parle, P-A-R-L, and then we add the l'imparfait endings according to your subject pronoun. So, for example, with je, the ending is AIS, so you get je parlais. With tu, the ending is also AIS, tu parlais. For third person singular, il, elle, and on, the ending is AIT, so you get il parlait. For nous, we get IONS, so nous parlions. For vous, it is IEZ, so we get vous parliez. And then for il and elle, third person plural, the ending is AIENT, il parlait. Notice that 4 of those sound the same. Je parlais, tu parlais, il parlait. But they're not spelled the same. Okay, it's just a little tricky thing with French. We don't pronounce those final consonants. All right, dans les verbes irréguliers, dans l'imparfait, all irregular verbs, with the exception of être, follow the same pattern of regular verbs. Take the present tense nous form, drop the ONS, and add the l'imparfait endings. It's really that simple. Now, verbs ending in CER and GER are also unique, but we'll get to that in a moment. So let's look at some common irregular verbs in l'imparfait, such as avoir. Now, in the present tense nous form, we have nous avons. We drop the ONS, so our l'imparfait stem is AV, and then we add our endings. J'avais, tu avais, il avait, nous avions, vous aviez, il avait. With the verb aller, our new form in the present tense is nous allons. Therefore, our l'imparfait stem is ALL after you drop the ONS. And then you have j'allais, tu allais, il allait, nous allions, vous alliez, il allait. Mais quelle liaison? Ils allaient. And then with faire, we have nous faisons. We drop the ONS. Our l'imparfait stem would be fait, F-A-I-S. And then add your endings. Je faisais, tu faisais, il faisait, nous faisions, vous faisiez, il faisait. Some other irregular verbs in l'imparfait, mettre. In the new form, we have nous mettons. You drop the ONS. Your l'imparfait stem is met, M-E-T-T. And then with your endings, we have je mettais, tu mettais, il mettait, nous mettions, vous mettiez, il mettait. With venir, in the new form, we have nous venons. L'imparfait stem is V-E-N, and then with you drop the O-N-S. With our subject pronouns, we have je venais, tu venais, il venait, nous venait. Sorry. Il venait, nous venions, vous veniez, il venait. And then for voir, our new form is nous voyons. You drop the O-N-S, and your l'imparfait stem is V-O-Y. And then we add our endings. Je voyais, tu voyais, il voyait, nous voyions, vous voyez, il voyait. Alors, être dans l'imparfait. So the present tense of new form of être is some. Right? Therefore, it does not have a stem like all the other verbs that end with O and S. Its stem is simply E accent aigu, and T, et. So looking at this verb with our subject pronouns, we have j'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, il était, ils étaient. Mais quelle liaison, hein? J'étais athlétique. I was athletic. C'était merveilleux. It was wonderful. Nous étions amis. We used to be friends. Now, looking at verbs, les verbes qui terminent CER dans l'imparfait. Verbs that end in CER have a cédille, that's a little C with the hook at the bottom, in the present tense new form to keep the soft C sound, right? If it was followed by an O, that C would get a hard C sound, like a K sound. So this cédille must remain when the C is followed by l'imparfait endings beginning with the letter A, as in AIS, AIT, AIENT, right? Just like in English, if the letter C is followed by an O, an A, or a U, it makes a K sound, as in cat, caught, and cut. Same thing happens in French. So if they want to keep that soft C sound before an A or an O, they add a cédille. However, that cédille can be dropped when followed by the letter I, or E for that matter, but in this case, the letter I, as in the endings ion and ie, right? IONS and IEZ. So let's look at the verb lancer, to throw. The present tense new form is nous lançons. So we have a cédille there, so it's not pronounced nous lançons. L'imparfait stem is L-A-N-C cédille. And then we lose that cédille with the nous and vous form. So we have je lançais, tu lançais, il lançait, nous lancions, vous lanciez, il lançait. So nous and vous don't have a cédille because they don't need it. The C is followed by an I. Other common CER verbs include annoncer, avancer, commencer, effacer, menacer, placer, prononcer, remplacer, and renoncer. Les verbes qui terminent GER dans l'imparfait. Verbs that end in GER have an E added to the present tense new form to keep the soft G sound. So this E must remain when the G is followed by l'imparfait endings, beginning with the letter A, such as AIS, AIT, AIENT. However, the E can be dropped when followed by the letter I, as in the endings IONS and IEZ. Let's look at the verb manger, to eat. In the present tense new form, we have nous mangions. A little E gets put in to keep that G soft. Otherwise, it would be nous mangeons. So our l'imparfait stem ending, for the most part, is mange, M-A-N-G-E. However, notice with the new form, we don't need those E's because the G is followed by an I. So we keep the E for je, tu, third person singular, il, elle, on, and third person plural, il and elle. But we don't need it for nous and vous. So we have je mangeais, tu mangeais, il mangeait, nous mangions, vous mangiez, il mangeait. So there's the difference there with nous and vous. Other common GER verbs include arranger, bouger, changer, corriger, déménager, déranger, diriger, mélanger, nager, neiger, obliger, partager, plonger, ranger, songer et voyager. Réviser. What is the present tense new form of avoir? Nous avons. What is your stem for l'imparfait? Avait. Right, we drop the O and S. What is the l'imparfait ending for je? AIS. AIS. What do you end up with? J'avais. Right, don't forget we also drop the E when it's je is followed by a vowel, so we get j'avais. J apostrophe. J apostrophe. What does it mean? I had, I was having, I used to have. What is the present tense new form of mettre? Nous mettons. What is your stem for l'imparfait? Met. M-E-T-T. Drop the O and S. What is the l'imparfait ending for tu? A-I-S. What do you end up with? Tu mettais. Remember, we don't pronounce the S on mettez. What does it mean? You put, you were putting, you used to put. What is the present tense new form of aller? Nous allons. What is your stem for l'imparfait? Al. A-L-L. Drop the O and S. What is a l'imparfait ending for il, third person singular? Et. A-I-T. What do you end up with? Il allait. Don't pronounce the T at the end. What does it mean? He went, he was going, he used to go. What is the present tense new form of faire? Nous faisons. What is your stem for l'imparfait? Fait. F-A-I-S. Drop the O and S. What is the l'imparfait ending for nous? Ion. I-O-N-S. What do you end up with? Nous faisons. What does it mean? We made, we were making, we used to make. What is the present tense new form of lire? Nous lisons. What is your stem for l'imparfait? Lis. L-I-S. Drop the O and S. What is the l'imparfait ending for vous? I. I-E-Z. What do you end up with? Vous lisiez. What does it mean? You read, you were reading, you used to read. What is the present tense new form of prendre? Nous prenons. What is your stem for l'imparfait? Prenne. P-R-E-N. Drop the O-N-S. What is the l'imparfait ending for elle? Third person plural, meaning they. A-I-E-N-T. What do you end up with? Elle prenait. Remember, we don't pronounce the ENT at the end of the verb. What does it mean? They took, they were taking, they used to take. Pratiquer. Practice converting these sentences into l'imparfait. Numéro 1. It was beautiful in regards to the weather. Il faisait beau. Numéro 2. They used to eat all of the fruit. Il mangeait tous les fruits. Remember, we have to keep that E after the G so that it stays soft. Numéro 3. You were so cute. Tu étais si mignon. Numéro 4. She was taking some courses. Elle prenait des cours. Numéro 5. We used to throw badly. Nous lancions mal avant. Right? Notice with that C, we don't need a cedilla because the C is followed by an I, and that keeps a soft C sound. Numéro 6. You weren't able to leave. Vous ne pouviez pas partir. Pratiquez encore. All right, last little bit. Numéro 1. He used to swim badly. Il nageait mal. Notice that we have that E there between the G and the A to keep the G soft, so it's not nager. Numéro 2. They used to tell a lot of lies. Elle disait beaucoup de mensonges. Numéro 3. Were you starting to believe her? Tu commençais à la croire. Notice that the C has a cedille to keep the C soft when followed by an A, so that it's not commencer. Alors, numéro 4. She used to write to us often. Elle nous écrivait souvent. Numéro 5. We used to go out every night. Nous sortions tous les soirs. Et finalement, numéro 6. You were small as a child. Vous étiez petit comme un enfant. Alors, c'est la fin de la deuxième partie. That's the end of part 2 on l'imparfait. Check out the third presentation to see how l'imparfait compares with passé composé. This is a very confusing thing for many of my students. So hopefully the next video clears it up for you just a little bit. Je suis Madame Brown. Merci beaucoup et au revoir. À la prochaine.